I had an affair with my boss while pretending to be a perfect wife. Karma exposed me. I was kissing my boss in his car when I saw my husband's reflection in the side mirror. Not a hallucination. Not paranoia. Him standing 20 feet away in the parking garage, grocery bags in both hands, frozen like someone had just ripped his soul out through his chest. Our daughter's birthday cake was in one of those bags. I knew because I texted him an hour earlier asking him to pick it up while I worked late. I wasn't working late. I was straddling Derek in the front seat of his Tesla, my skirt hiked up, his hands on my thighs, my wedding ring cold against his neck. My husband didn't scream. Didn't rush over. Didn't drop the bags. He just stared. Then he turned around and walked back to his car like he'd seen something too horrible to process. The cake box tilted in his grip. I watched him disappear into the stairwell, and something in my chest collapsed. Derek pulled back, breathing hard. Was that? Drive. Sarah, was that your? Just drive. He drove. I sat there with my lipstick smeared and my hands shaking, watching the parking garage lights blur past, and all I could think was, I'm not ready for this to be over. Not the affair. The lie? The version of me that got to have both. Let me rewind. I need you to understand how I got here, because I spent months telling myself I wasn't this person. That I was different. That I had reasons. I've been married to Daniel for 9 years. We have 2 kids. A 6-year-old daughter named Emma and a 4-year-old son named Liam. Daniel's a good man. Maybe too good. He's a high school teacher. Makes decent money. Comes home tired but never complains. Coaches Liam's soccer team on Saturdays. Still kisses me goodnight even when I'm too tired. And I was tired. God, I was tired. Tired of the same conversations. The same weekend routine. The same sex every third Thursday like clockwork. Tired of being Sarah the mom and Sarah the wife and never just Sarah. I wasn't unhappy. That's the sick part. I was fine. We were fine. I just wanted more. I wanted to feel wanted in a way that didn't involve someone asking me where the kids' soccer cleats were. I wanted to feel seen by someone who didn't know what I looked like after 3 hours of sleep and a toddler's vomit on my shoulder. I wanted to be the version of myself I used to be before I became someone's entire support system. So when Derek started paying attention to me at work, I let it happen. Derek's the VP of marketing at the firm where I work as a senior account manager. 42. Divorced. No kids. Drives a Tesla. Wears suits that cost more than my mortgage payment. He's the kind of man who remembers your coffee order and makes direct eye contact when you talk, like you're the only person in the room. It started innocently. That's what I told myself. He'd stop by my desk to ask about a campaign. Linger a little too long. Compliment my presentation skills in a way that felt personal. I started dressing better for work. Wearing the heels that hurt. Doing my hair. I told myself it was professional. That I was just trying to look put together. But I knew. Deep down, I knew. My best friend Jenna noticed first. We were having drinks one night after work, and she leaned across the table with this knowing smirk. You're glowing. What's his name? What? No. I'm married. Babe, I've known you since college. You have the look. I laughed it off. Ordered another margarita. Changed the subject. But that night, lying next to Daniel while he snored softly, I stared at the ceiling and let myself imagine it. What it would feel like to be wanted by someone like Derek. Someone who didn't see me as a mom first. The texting started a few weeks later. Work stuff at first. Then memes. Then late-night messages asking how my day was. I'd be lying in bed next to Daniel, phone hidden under the covers, smiling at my screen like a teenager. Daniel never noticed. Or maybe he did and didn't want to believe it. I got sloppy. Started working late more often. Came home with my hair messier than when I'd left. Stopped initiating sex. Stopped laughing at his jokes. I was already gone, emotionally. I just hadn't admitted it yet. The first time Derek kissed me, I kissed him back. It was after a client dinner. Everyone else had left. We were standing outside the restaurant, and he looked at me like I was the only woman on earth. No one had looked at me like that in years. When his lips touched mine, I didn't pull away. I leaned in. I told myself it was just a kiss. That it didn't mean anything. That I'd stop before it went too far. I didn't stop. We started meeting at his place. A downtown condo with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view of the city. I'd tell Daniel I was working on a big pitch. That I'd be home late. He'd text me asking if I wanted him to save dinner. I'd text back already ate, thanks babe, while Derek poured me wine and pulled me onto his lap. The guilt was there. It never left. But I buried it under the thrill. Under the feeling of being desired. Of being someone other than Emma and Liam's mom. Other than Daniel's reliable, predictable wife. I started resenting Daniel for things that weren't his fault. For being boring. For not being exciting. For not making me feel the way Derek did. I'd come home and he'd try to hug me and I'd flinch. He'd ask what was wrong and I'd snap at him. Blame it on work stress. Emma started noticing. She's 6, but she's sharp. She asked me one night why I was always on my phone. Why I didn't read to her before bed anymore. I told her mommy was just busy with work. She looked at me with these big, sad eyes and said, "You're always busy now." I should have stopped then. I should have seen what I was doing to my family. But I didn't. I kept going. Kept lying. Kept pretending. Jenna tried to warn me. We were out for lunch, and she looked at me across the table and said, "Sarah, you need to end this. Whatever this is with your boss. You're going to lose everything. You don't understand." I understand perfectly. You're bored. You're feeling unappreciated. So you're throwing away your marriage for some midlife crisis fling with a man who's probably doing this with half the office. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. And when Daniel finds out, and he will find out, you're going to regret this so much. I didn't listen. I told myself Jenna was jealous. That she didn't understand what it felt like to be trapped in a life that wasn't enough. That Derek was different. That this was real. I was so stupid. The texts got riskier. The lies got bigger. I started leaving my phone face down. Changing my passcode. Taking longer showers when I got home. Daniel asked me once if everything was okay. If I was happy. I looked him in the eye and lied. Told him I was just stressed. That I loved him. He believed me. Or he wanted to. Either way, it killed me a little. Then came Emma's birthday. We'd been planning it for weeks. A princess party at the house. Daniel was handling the cake and decorations. I was supposed to leave work early to help set up. But Derek asked me to stay late for a meeting. I knew what that meant. I should have said no. Should have put my daughter first. But I texted Daniel instead. Told him I was stuck at work. Asked if he could handle the cake pickup. He texted back immediately. "Of course. I've got it. Love you." I felt sick reading that. But I stayed. Derek and I ended up in his car in the parking garage. I told myself it would be quick. Just a few minutes. Then I'd go home and help with the party and no one would know. But Daniel came to surprise me. To bring me coffee and check on me because he's that kind of man. The kind who shows up. Who cares? And he saw everything. I watched him walk away, and I knew. This wasn't something I could explain away. Wasn't something I could fix with an apology. I'd just destroyed my entire life in a parking garage while my daughter's birthday cake melted in the backseat of my husband's car. Derek drove me home in silence. I kept checking my phone. No calls. No texts. Nothing. When I walked into the house, it was quiet. Too quiet. The birthday decorations were half hung. The cake box sat open on the kitchen counter, the frosting smeared where someone had gripped it too hard. Daniel was in our bedroom. Packing a suitcase. Daniel. Don't. Please, let me explain. There's nothing to explain. His voice was so calm it scared me. I saw you. In his car. With him. It was a mistake. I'm so sorry. It didn't mean anything. Don't insult me. He zipped the suitcase. Wouldn't look at me. I gave you everything. I've been faithful. I've been present. I've loved you through every single hard moment. And you've been screwing your boss. Daniel, please. How long? What? How long has this been going on? I couldn't answer. Couldn't make my mouth form the words. Months? He asked. A year? 3 months, I whispered. He laughed. It was the saddest sound I'd ever heard. 3 months. You've been lying to me for 3 months. Lying to our kids. Coming home and kissing me goodnight after you've been with him. I'm so sorry. Where are you going to tell Emma why Daddy's leaving? What lie are you going to come up with for that? My stomach dropped. You're leaving? What did you think was going to happen, Sarah? That I'd just forgive you? That we'd work through this? We can go to therapy. We can fix this. There's nothing to fix. You broke us. You chose him over me. Over our kids. That's not true. It is true. He finally looked at me, and his eyes were red. You chose this. Every time you texted him. Every time you lied. Every time you stayed late. You chose him. I choose you now. I choose our family. It's too late. Those 3 words shattered me. He picked up his suitcase. Walked past me like I wasn't even there. I followed him down the stairs, begging. Pleading. Promising I'd end it. That I'd do anything. He stopped at the door. Turned around. I'm taking the kids to my mom's. I'll be back tomorrow for more of my things. I want you out of the house by the end of the week. You can't take my kids. I can. And I will. Because right now, you're not stable. You're not safe. And I'm not letting them watch their mother destroy this family. Daniel, please. The door closed. I heard his car start. Heard him drive away. I stood in my empty house, surrounded by half-hung birthday decorations for a party that would never happen, and I fell apart. I called Derek. He didn't answer. I called again. And again. On the 4th try, he picked up. Sarah, we need to cool things off for a while. What? This got messy. I didn't sign up for messy. Let's just take a break until things settle down. You said you loved me? I care about you. But I'm not trying to blow up my career over this. Let's talk in a few weeks. He hung up. I sat on my kitchen floor in the dark, my phone dead in my hand, and I realized what I'd done. I'd traded my husband, my kids, and my entire life for a man who wouldn't even answer my calls. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch in yesterday's clothes, staring at my phone, waiting for Daniel to call. To text. To give me a chance to fix this. He didn't. At 6 a.m., I called his mom's house. She answered on the 3rd ring. Don't call here again. Her voice was ice. You've done enough. Can I please just talk to Emma and Liam? I need to explain. Explain what, Sarah? That you cheated on their father? That you destroyed their family? They don't need to hear from you right now. They're my kids. Then you should have thought about that before you decided to sleep with your boss. She hung up. I tried Daniel's cell. Straight to voicemail. I left 6 messages. Sent 20 texts. All ignored. By Monday morning, I was a wreck. I dragged myself to work with no sleep, my hair barely brushed, my eyes swollen. I thought maybe I could talk to Derek. Maybe we could figure this out together. He wouldn't meet my eyes. I caught him in the hallway. Derek, we need to talk. Not here. Then where? You won't answer my calls. Because we're done, Sarah. He looked around nervously. This was fun, but it's over. You need to move on. Fun? You told me you loved me. You said you wanted a future with me. I said a lot of things. People say things. He stepped back. Look, I'm sorry about your marriage. But this is getting complicated and I can't afford complicated right now. He walked away. Left me standing in the hallway like I was nothing. I went back to my desk and opened my email. There was a message from HR. Subject line, meeting request. My hands shook as I read it. They wanted to see me at 2 p.m. No explanation. I knew. Someone had reported us. Maybe Derek had, to cover himself. Maybe someone had seen us. Either way, I was screwed. The HR meeting was brutal. 2 representatives, stone-faced, asked me direct questions about my relationship with Derek. I tried to deny it at first. Then I tried to minimize it. By the end, I was crying, admitting everything, begging them not to fire me. They didn't fire me. They offered me a choice: resign quietly or face termination for violating workplace conduct policies. They gave me until end of day to decide. I resigned. I cleaned out my desk in 20 minutes. No one said goodbye. A few coworkers stared. One woman I'd worked with for 3 years looked at me with pure disgust and whispered homewrecker as I walked past. I wasn't a homewrecker. I wrecked my own home. I drove to Daniel's mom's house. Sat in the driveway for 30 minutes before I got the courage to knock. Daniel answered. His face was blank. I lost my job, I said. Okay. Can we please talk? Please. I need to see the kids. I need to explain. There's nothing to explain. And the kids don't want to see you right now. They're 6 and 4. They don't understand. Emma understands more than you think. She asked me last night if you stopped loving us. I didn't know what to tell her. That broke me. I never stopped loving you. Any of you. I made a mistake. A horrible mistake. A mistake is forgetting to buy milk. This was a choice. Hundreds of choices. Every lie. Every time you picked him over us. I'm sorry. I know you are. But sorry doesn't fix this. He started to close the door. I put my hand on it. What happens now? My lawyer will contact you. We're filing for divorce. I'm seeking primary custody. You can't take my kids. I can. And I will. You're unstable. You have no job. No place to live. You cheated. You lied. You abandoned them emotionally for months. His voice finally cracked. You think any judge is going to give you custody after this? Daniel, please. I loved you. His eyes filled with tears. I loved you so much. And you threw us away like we were nothing. The door closed. I sat in my car and screamed until my throat was raw. By Wednesday, the story had spread. My phone blew up with messages from friends. Most of them were brutal. Jenna, I warned you. I told you this would happen. Don't call me. My sister, Mom and Dad are ashamed. Don't come to family dinner this Sunday. Or any Sunday. My college roommate, I can't believe you did this to Daniel. He's the best man I know. You're disgusting. Someone posted about it on a local Facebook group. Didn't use my name, but everyone knew. Local woman destroys family for affair with married boss. The comments were savage. People I'd never met called me trash. A homewrecker. A terrible mother. They said I deserved to lose everything. The worst part? They were right. Derek blocked me on everything. When I tried to email him, I got an auto response saying he was no longer with the company. He'd resigned too. Probably moved to another city. Started over. I couldn't start over. My life was here. My kids were here. My reputation was destroyed here. I moved into a cheap studio apartment across town. 1 room. A pull-out couch. A kitchenette that barely worked. I couldn't afford anything better. My savings were gone. I had no job. No references. No one would hire me after what happened. The divorce papers came 2 weeks later. Daniel wanted full custody. He was offering me supervised visitation every other weekend. His lawyer included a detailed list of my pattern of neglect and infidelity. I hired a lawyer with money I didn't have. She was honest with me. You're not going to win this. The affair, the job loss, your current living situation. The court's going to side with him. They're my kids. Then you should have thought about that before you cheated. Everyone kept saying that. Like I didn't know. Like I wasn't drowning in regret every second of every day. The custody hearing was the worst day of my life. Daniel's lawyer painted me as an unfit mother. Talked about how I'd prioritized my affair over my children. How I'd lied to them. How Emma had started having nightmares. How Liam kept asking when mommy was coming home. My lawyer tried. She really did. But there was nothing to say. No defense. I'd done everything they accused me of. The judge awarded Daniel primary custody. I got supervised visits twice a month. 4 hours each time. With a court-appointed supervisor present. When I saw Emma and Liam for the first time in weeks, they barely looked at me. Emma sat across from me in the visitation room, arms crossed, eyes cold. Why did you leave us? I didn't leave you, sweetie. Daddy and I are just. We're having problems. You were kissing someone else. Daddy told me. My heart stopped. He told you? I asked. He said you fell in love with someone else and that's why you can't live with us anymore. That's not. I didn't fall in love. Then why did you do it? I had no answer. Nothing I could say that would make sense to a 6-year-old. Nothing that would make sense to anyone. Liam just stared at the toys on the table. Wouldn't hug me. Wouldn't talk. When the 4 hours were up, he ran to Daniel without looking back. Emma paused at the door. Turned around. I wish you never did this. Me too, baby. Me too. I started therapy. Tried to work through the guilt. The shame. The overwhelming feeling that I destroyed everything for nothing. My therapist asked me why I did it. What I was looking for. I wanted to feel special, I said. I wanted to feel wanted. And did you? With Derek? For a while. Then he threw me away the second things got hard. What about Daniel? Did he make you feel wanted? Yes. But it was different. It was comfortable. Predictable. And you wanted excitement. I wanted to feel alive. And now? Now I feel dead. I tried to get my life together. Got a job at a call center. Barely above minimum wage. I spent my days cold calling strangers, getting yelled at, counting down the hours until I could go home to my empty apartment and cry. I reached out to Daniel one last time. Sent him a long email. Told him everything I should have said months ago. That I was sorry. That I knew I destroyed us. That I'd give anything to take it back. He responded with one line, "I hope you find whatever it was you were looking for. But you won't find it with us." That was it. No anger. No emotion. Just finality. I saw them at the grocery store once. Daniel and the kids. Emma was riding in the cart, laughing at something Daniel said. Liam was holding his hand. They looked happy. Like a complete family. Without me. I ducked into another aisle before they could see me. Stood there shaking, holding a box of cereal I didn't need, and realized this was my life now. Hiding. Avoiding. Watching from a distance as my family moved on without me. My parents stopped talking to me. My sister blocked my number. Most of my friends sided with Daniel. The few who didn't eventually drifted away. No one wants to be friends with a woman who blew up her life for an affair. I spent my 37th birthday alone in my apartment, eating takeout, scrolling through old photos on my phone. Pictures of Emma's first day of school. Liam's third birthday party. Our family vacation to the beach 2 years ago. Daniel's arm around me, both of us smiling, both of us happy. I had everything. And I'd thrown it away because I was bored. Because I wanted to feel special. Because I was selfish and stupid and convinced myself I deserved more than the good man who loved me and the beautiful children we'd made together. Derek was right about one thing. It was fun. For a few months, it was exciting and thrilling and made me feel alive. But now I'm alone. My kids barely speak to me. My ex-husband has moved on. My career is ruined. My reputation is destroyed. My family has disowned me. And Derek? He's probably doing the same thing to some other bored, lonely woman somewhere else. Making her feel special. Making her feel seen. Right up until the moment it gets messy. I'd give anything to go back. To the night Derek first kissed me. I'd pull away. I'd go home to my husband and my kids and my boring, predictable, beautiful life. I'd appreciate what I had instead of chasing something I thought I wanted. But I can't go back. I can only move forward. And forward looks like supervised visits twice a month. Like a studio apartment I can barely afford. Like a job I hate and a life I destroyed and guilt that never goes away. People online say I deserve this. That karma got me. That I'm getting what I asked for. They're right. I wanted to feel special. Wanted. Desired. Now I just feel empty. The affair didn't ruin my life. I did. Every choice I made. Every lie I told. Every time I chose Derek over my family. I did this to myself. And the worst part? Derek was never worth it. He was never going to leave his perfect bachelor life for me. I was just entertainment. A distraction. Someone to make him feel powerful. I gave up everything for a man who forgot about me the second I became inconvenient. If you're reading this and you're where I was, if you're bored or lonely or convinced you deserve better, let me save you the pain. You don't. You don't deserve better. You deserve what you have. And if you throw it away for the thrill of something new, you'll lose everything. I lost my husband, my kids, my job, my friends, my family, my home, and my self-respect. All for 3 months of feeling special. It wasn't worth it. It will never be worth it. And I'll spend the rest of my life knowing that the best thing that ever happened to me was something I destroyed with my own hands, while my daughter's birthday cake melted in the parking garage and my husband's heart broke in real time. That's my legacy now. The woman who had everything and traded it for nothing.